Bum 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 dum bada bum bum. Okay, hey, what's happening, all my dragon things? I am D-Dragon, got a gaming Damian-Dragon, and welcome to the gaming news, where we run down the list of all of the gaming news coming out of this week. Hope everyone has had a wonderful day. Thank you so much for choosing the gaming news as your gaming source of newscasting. I am your host, Damian-Dragon, and it's a pleasure to be with you today. Today, I've got some stuff on the PlayStation 5, as always. I have some stuff from the Epic Store, of course, that has to do with the PlayStation 5. And Sony releases something on a game where everyone is talking about. So, as another famous YouTuber says, let's get right into the news. Okay, first off, the PlayStation 5. We were talking about it for months. And months. And months. Believe me, I'm getting annoyed with that too. But personally, it's like the hot issue at the moment. And I can't not cover it. So, there's some stuff on the PlayStation 5, but there's too much to go over. So here's what I'm going to do. At the end of the episode, I am going to run down some of the things that I did not get to, but I want to get to the big things at the moment. So let's get right in. First off, this comes from Forbes.com, www.forbes.com. This was written by Paul Tassi, who's the senior contributor. And it says, Sony does not want to play price chicken with Microsoft ahead of PlayStation 5, the Series X launch. Now it says, we are currently locked in a weird dance with the reveals of two next-gen consoles, the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. Both Sony and Microsoft have revealed information about their upcoming releases, but there's one thing that neither the verbose Xbox team or a more secretive PlayStation squad have shared: the price. There have been rumblings on both sides of this issue. I first heard that Sony was waiting for Microsoft to go first, announcing its price so they could undercut it like they did in 2013, with the PS4 going up against Xbox One, $400 versus $500. It stood to reason that that could easily be possible, given the Series X's rather insane specs, which should in theory require a higher price. However, things change. Now I'm hearing a counter narrative that parts manufacturing costs of the PlayStation 5 have pushed its potential price up to probably $450 to $500 instead. And now Microsoft may be the one waiting for Sony to announce its price first, so then they can undercut instead. Who is on the stronger footing here? My guess is probably Microsoft, and I don't think Sony wants to play this game of chicken. Microsoft is all smiles publicly about their gaming division and the future. They claim that console wars are beneath them. I don't buy it. I think they hated how the past generations played out, where the PS4 outsold the Xbox One over 2-1 when previously PS3 and Xbox 360 sales were close to identical. Even releasing a powerhouse upgraded system like the Xbox One X did nothing to change that dynamic. As such, I do buy the idea that it's Microsoft holding back its price now, waiting for Sony go to either match or undercut them. Why else would they be revealing every single thing about the system other than that? I may not fully be on board with the idea that Microsoft will slash the Series X cost down to $400 and eat an enormous loss, but it seems more likely that if Sony does push the cost of PS5 to $450 to $500, that at the very least Microsoft will match it, and this other talk of the Series X being a $600 console will not pan out. I maintain Microsoft will know better than to release a console priced that high in the wake of a global economic meltdown. I actually do agree on that case, because they're both not showing anything about their price, even though it's getting so close. You gotta think, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. You got 6 months. And over that time, yeah, you're gonna need to start releasing stuff. I can guarantee you very soon that the PlayStation 5 is gonna be revealed. And there's something in this in my notes for that. But the whole problem about this point is that, you know, if they keep on playing the whole game, you know, of showing off their consoles and not telling us how much we're going to be paying for them, then, you know, it's not going to really do them much credence. It's not going to help. Nothing's going to help like that. So, very soon we should be getting a price. I hope somebody says something, because I would like to know what the fuck I'm paying for. Thank you. Anyway, next up, PlayStation Studios brand will launch alongside PlayStation 5. And this is from thegameindustries.biz. And it's written by Christopher Dring on the 12th of May 12th, 2020. It says, Sony has developed a new umbrella brand to unite its first-party PlayStation titles. The PlayStation Studios brand will go live in PlayStation 4 and 5 games later this year, and will only be featured on games developed and managed by Sony Interactive Entertainment's worldwide studios organization. Along the logo, PlayStation has created a new opening video that will appear at the start of its games. The video features characters from Uncharted, Little Big Planet, God of War, Ratchet & Clank, Horizon Zero Dawn, and The Last of Us. You can check out the video below, which I've already checked out. Really good. It's a really good video. We are really excited about this. Says Eric Lempel, Senior Vice President and Head of Global Marketing at Sony Interactive Entertainment. Over the last few years and even the last decade, the strength of the titles coming out from our studios has been stronger than ever. We have been thinking about how we unite all these great games under one brand, and really the purpose of that is to make the consumer understand that when they see this brand, they're getting ready for a robust, innovative, deep experience that they've come to expect from games coming from PlayStation. So we came up with the PlayStation Studios. You've seen the animated asset that will exist primarily during the beginning of our titles, but the brand will exist in a lot of different places. There are different short animations that will exist in trailers. It will exist in advertising. It will be in any other creative assets, such as the game packaging, and the game discs themselves. We think this is a good way to let consumers know that if they see it, then the quality games they've come to expect from us are here. And this brand will exist for well-known existing franchises, as well as brand new franchises that we have yet to explore. The PlayStation Studios branding won't be ready in time for the launch of The Last of Us Part 2 or The Ghosts of Tsushima, which are both due to arrive this summer. It will also miss the launch of Horizon Zero Dawn on PC, although Lampel says that any future games it releases on other platforms will carry the branding. There will be variations of the video asset, Lampel tells us, and although the clip may look like something you would see before a Marvel movie, the inspiration for the branding came from the games themselves. There's more to that, but I'm not going to read it all because, again, I have a lot of stuff to cover right now. Personally, I think it's a really cool idea to have a PlayStation Studios brand going off of, you know, how big the library for PlayStation is. Think about it. A long time ago, PlayStation's mascots, Spyro, Crash, you know, they have The Last of Us. You have Uncharted, the Uncharted series. I believe Sony Interactive also did Assassin's Creed, but I'm not extremely sure. I'm not fully dug about that. But God of War franchise and all that. That is something that you're gonna need that world for, to show that, you know, these characters exist under this. Like, look at Nintendo. If you look at Nintendo, you immediately think Mario, Kirby. You think of Luigi, Peach, freaking Donkey Kong. You're thinking of a ton of these characters that are iconic. But when you think about these characters, you think of their head designers, aka Nintendo. But when you look at like stuff like Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, and all them, you don't really associate PlayStation. Some of the time, like, even I forget that Crash Bandicoot was made by Sony, and it was upsetting that I thought I didn't, because I loved the Crash Bandicoot series when I was a kid, and I still love the Spyro series as well. And and I hope that didn't come out wrong. I do still love Crash. I love Crash Bandicoot. But when you think of these things, you want them to have, like, you want them to prop up that label. And I can see that's why PlayStation is doing what they're doing. Because you want these characters to have a place where they call home. And to the point where, you know, look at what Mario did for Nintendo. Nintendo is still going strong off of Mario. God damn! That's a long fucking time. And I know I cursed 2 times in this, but Jesus, it's just, think about that. It's almost been, what, 70 years? Going on it? I don't think it's 70, but it's like 40, 50 years that, you know, Mario's been doing his thing for Nintendo. And it's like, when you think of Mario, you think of Nintendo. And I think that's the kind of vibe that Sony's going to be bringing out with the PlayStation Studios. So I kind of like that. Here is the big meat of the things. And let's move on to another topic. Another, ladies and gentlemen. Another. English, not my strong suit. This is written by essentiallysports.com. It doesn't give the person who wrote in the article, but I guess I have no idea, ladies and gentlemen. Don't judge me. Sony provide a huge update on PlayStation 5 schedule. Sony has everyone twiddling their thumbs waiting for updates on the next-gen console, PlayStation 5. The reports flying around the console's launch have not offered the most optimistic perspective up until this point. Initial ears of a delay in launch due to the virus pandemic. I don't think I can say the name. I do not want all my videos flagged, so thank you. Were quickly allayed by the tech giants. However, soon came reports stating Sony planned on making alterations to their usual launch plans. The Bloomberg report claimed insiders had admitted the company could tone down the number of units produced in its first quarter. The reason behind this was logical. Certain hardware components were proving difficult and costly to acquire. Sony believed a higher launch price could result in sales taking a hit in the initial phase of the rollout. But then again, these are all reports and we won't truly know what gives until the price is actually announced. Today, though, we finally get some official word on the PlayStation 5. And yes, this is official word, ladies and gentlemen. Sony PlayStation 5 is on course. Sony released its earnings report of the fourth quarter of the fiscal year 2019, ending March 31st, 2020. As you'd expect, the report detailed the PS4 console and game sales and manufacturing. While that may interest some keen users, there is something in the report that is certain to pique everyone's interest. Yes, it has to do with the PlayStation 5, and the news is all good. Regarding the launch of PlayStation 5, although factors such as employees working from home and restrictions on international travel have presented some challenges in regards to the part of the testing process and the qualification of production lines, development is progressing with launch of the console scheduled for the 2020 holiday season. At this point in time, major problems have not arisen in the game software development pipeline for Sony's own first-party studios or its partners' studios. Microsoft have looked much more serene with their plans on launching Xbox Series X this year. On the other hand, the reports coming out of the Sony camp painted a picture of rocky waters. However, this earning report is sure to give some fans calm. While the holiday season is still some ways off, we can breathe a sigh of relief knowing at this point PlayStation 5 remains on course. So at least we know that no matter what, PlayStation 5 is going to be coming out regardless. And that's perfectly fine. I'm actually very happy that that's the case. Because it would be a little bit upsetting if the console was, dated back because it was hard to get some of the components for the system. That would suck. So I'm glad that the console is on its way to where it's supposed to be. Alright. Next up. The PS5 DualSense controller price was just leaked. Okay, I'm at 15 minutes, so I'm gonna try to speed run as fast as possible. Sony said in its most recent earnings report that the PlayStation 5 will launch on time this holiday season as originally planned. The company has acknowledged that the pandemic has impacted PS5 development, but the console should still arrive on time. Sony is far from announcing availability or pricing information for the console, and hasn't said anything about PS5 supply. People with inside information about Sony's plans said in the past few weeks that a PS5 launch event is just around the corner. The console's design could be unveiled officially as early as June 2nd. According to a leaker, the same person said a few times in the past few months that the console will launch on November 20th, with pre-orders set to start once Sony unveils the console. Now, the leaker claims to know the price of the brand new DualSense controller as well. Twitter user PSE Rubis, which I think we talked about before, is the leaker in question, but he or she moved his PlayStation-centric tweets over to a new handle, Iron Man PS5, for some reason. The person is definitely not Iron Man, but he or she have been very active on Twitter in the past few months, aggressively pushing some of these leaks and dismissing previous leaks. Given that the novel virus has practically shut down the world, anyone could have easily dismissed all the rumors that claimed Sony would unveil the PS5 in March or February or March. Sony never even got to announce a press event, as it was one of the first big tech companies to pull out of tech shows over coronavirus fears. Sony did make several PS5 announcements in the past few weeks, and I did say that word, god damn it. The company detailed the console specs a few weeks ago, and then it unveiled the design and product name of the brand new PlayStation 5 controller. Reports that followed claim the design of the controller was made public as Sony feared leaks. Every PlayStation 5 retail box will contain one DualSense wireless controller inside the box, which I want. Sony did not say how much the DualSense controller will cost, but Iron Man PS5 took to Twitter to reveal the price of the controller. The PS5 retail box will contain one DualSense wireless controller. The leaker said before listing the price. And this is from the actual leaker, Iron Man PS5. DualSense will be sold separately on November 20th, 2020, and will be available in North America, Canada, Europe, and the United Kingdom at a recommended retail price of $59.99, or in Canadian dollars, $59.99, or in pounds, $59.99, or in $54.99. Sorry. Standalone DualSense controllers will cost $59.99 in the US. In Canada is $59.99 in Canadian. And sorry, Canada, I don't know what to call your money. I'm sorry. And in pounds, it's $59.99. $54.99, which is up in pounds in the UK. Needless to say, these prices can't be confirmed at this time, but they do make sense for a brand new product, the PlayStation 5, which I do happen to agree on. The PlayStation 5's controller is going to be a very hefty price, seeing as fit that some new features haven't even been announced yet, but some of its features is going to be like well-rounded and very good. So I'm actually very excited to get my hands on the DualSense controller. All right. So let's get on to our next thing. Epic Games. Epic Games announces Unreal Engine 5 with stunning PlayStation 5 demo. And this is where we get to the good stuff. The Unreal Engine 5. Jeez. And this was written by TheVerge.com, and it was fully written by Nick Stat on May 13, 2020. It says, Epic says its new engine is a quantum leap, and it'll arrive in 2021. Epic Games today announced the next iteration of its game engine, the Unreal Engine 5, with a stunning demo running on the PlayStation 5. Epic says the demo shows off what next-generation game consoles will truly be capable of once developers have full access to creative tools like UE5 and the capability to squeeze the maximum out of new hardware and software baked into Sony's PS5 and Microsoft's Xbox Series X. The graphics speak for themselves, and Epic has always pushed the bleeding edge of what's possible. CEO Tim Sweeney tells The Verge, "Our goal isn't just to bring more features to developers. The hardest problem in game development right now is building high-quality games. It takes enormous time and cost, so we want to make developers' lives easier and more productive." To show off UE's 5's capabilities, Epic put together a demo running on a developer version of the PS5 hardware and captured the output. The results showcase incredible visual quality, combined with the detail and photorealistic lighting. Epic promises its new tools will deliver according to Kim Laberry. I keep on running everything together. I'm so sorry. According to Kim Laberry, Epic's chief technology officer, next-gen consoles are going to give consumers a quantum leap, and a UE5 is another leap on top of that. Laberry says he's fairly confident developers can achieve visuals like that within a full studio title, and not just hyper-optimized tech demos, using next-gen consoles and UE5, but he and Sweeney explained that it may take some time for the full scope of the hardware and software to be realized for developers to become fluent in tool sets like UE5. I mean, yeah, with a very new engine, it's going to be very difficult for people to adapt to it, because Unreal Engine 4 was actually it was made to specify that the new consoles for the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4. It was all ahead of its time. And Unreal Engine 5, if it does what it's supposed to do, then we're gonna get some photorealistic games that it's gonna be freaking sweet. So I can't wait to see what the Unreal Engine can really do. Because as a person that studied game development, just hyper-realism is something that I was always very ecstatic to see. And I fully enjoy photorealism and seeing how everything plays together so smoothly and runs so smoothly and how realistic it can get. It'll be absolutely really cool to see what the Unreal Engine can really do. So I can't wait to see it. Okay. Next up, and this is where I'm gonna then I'm gonna run through some of the other things, but these are the biggest stories. Sony dropped breathtaking Ghost of Tsushima 18-minute gameplay footage. Sony and its flagship product, the PlayStation. Oh yeah, this is written by Essentially Sports, which don't even have a title, so sorry. It's quite easily the most popular console. When it comes to the market share between PS and Xbox, it is not as close as the contest as you'd expect it to be. Expected, not respected. God damn. With each passing generation of consoles, there hasn't been a lot of separating the two arch rivals. In terms of hardware and performance, there hasn't been a lot of separating the two. So why does one reign supreme over the other? A primary factor behind that has been the exclusive titles on PlayStation. Ahead of this year's PS5 launch, Sony managed to pique the fans' interest with two games in particular: The Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima. Sony uses its video game program, State of Play, to make announcement reveals, give updates to its community. Ghost of Tsushima is set to release on July 17th, hence this week. The episode was dedicated to Ghost of Tsushima. Sony promised to show us some gameplay footage of both exploration and combat. The episode jumped right into it, starting off with the concept of exploration in the game. We then moved onto the combat, customization, different game modes, and more. The photo mode is rather expansive too, which is a delight given how visually pleasing the game looks. We got to watch a ton of new gameplay, and boy oh boy was it enthralling. While the trailers and gameplay from last year had already managed to excite us all, today's display just cemented our belief that Ghost of Tsushima will be an absolute treat. That this is not a game you'll want to miss out on, with visuals that will give your eyes pleasure and combat that will get your heart racing. We know for certain now that the title will deliver. And that it freaking should. Ghost of Tsushima, I did see the gameplay footage, and my god, it looks so freaking good. just the way the character responds in the world, how the game feels, the atmosphere is freaking incredible. It could, like, if you cut the gameplay, like combat mode, you can cut the tension with a knife. Like, the game just gives off that beautiful feel that you would expect from a game like Ghost of Tsushima, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. I'm gonna try to get my hands on Ghost of Tsushima when it drops, but I can't promise anything. So personally, I'm gonna probably pick this game up for myself and see how everything works. But the game looks beautiful. If you guys have the time, go ahead and check out the Ghost of Tsushima gameplay footage from Sony. If you guys have the time, and see how everything like looks in the game. It just looks incredible, and I suggest anyone to look at it if you guys really enjoy like the surroundings of a game, how the game looks, and how the game plays. I suggest you go ahead and check it out. It's just a masterclass. Anyway, there's a couple others that we want to talk. First off, I did want to say congratulations to PlayStation 4 for passing 110 million sales. That is actually awesome. So, congratulations to Sony and the PlayStation 4 for that. Anyway, Sony turns up the heat in PlayStation 5 Xbox Series X battle. I'm going to read this and I'm going to do this like real fast. I don't want to take up too much of your time. So here, we're just going to speed run. And this was written by Essentially Sports because they don't know how to credit their editors. Anyway, the great gaming console war between Sony and Microsoft has raged on for almost 2 decades now. Of course, before Microsoft entered the foray, there were others who were competing with Sony. Once Xbox arrived in 2001, it's pretty much been a two-way battle, with much more experience than Microsoft, and let's face it, a far superior exclusive lineup. Sony has reigned supreme in the rivalry. However, there have been murmurs that Xbox may finally be ready to wrest control of the market from PlayStation this year. For starters, the Xbox Series X's team has been quite forthcoming with their updates and announcements. On the other hand, the PlayStation 5 team has been mum on most fronts. A Bloomberg report in April claiming Sony's planning on toning down their launch plans only added to the pessimistic aura surrounding PS5. Despite all that, Sony continued keeping its counsel. All the while, the positive updates kept rolling out of Microsoft, be it the hardware, the specifications, their first-party games, and third-party collaborations. They were sharing it all. Gradually, the narrative was shifting towards Xbox, truly giving PS a run for its money this time around. And then, out of the blue, Sony turned up the heat. Chances are already know all about Epic Games' Unreal Engine, a wildly successful and popular game engine. Well, Epic recently gave us a reveal of Unreal Engine 5, but what's Sony got to do with it? Well, Epic revealed Unreal Engine 5 by running it on PS5. To say the next-gen game engine looks mesmerizing would be an understatement. Feast your eyes on the demo below and judge it for yourself. Understand that this is a carefully curated demo with the objective of exhibiting the game's engine's capabilities. It would be folly to expect graphics like this right off the bat on any console, but we will get there soon enough. Yes, Xbox will run the Unreal 5 2, but we have no idea how well that would be. A lot was made of certain aspects of the Series X being better than PS5. However, that is all on paper for now. With this demo, Sony has shown us exactly what its console can do, while we have yet to be enthralled in a similar manner by the Series X, which I very much agree. And to be honest, I think that should be something that needs to be shown off a lot more. This how the games run, and that's what I was saying to one of the comments earlier. And I think it was Angry Chainsaw, the commenter, that was written under. Let me actually pull this up, and because this will be one of my last comments, because I don't want to take up much more of you guys' time, so I can get the name of the guy right. I don't want to talk the talk and not give off my what I have to say, because this does have something to do with it. Hold on. Oh, I wonder why I couldn't find anything. What's your name, big dude? What's your name? Oh, here we go. Yep, Angry Chainsaw was 2 months ago on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X impressive specs, and EA banned YouTuber. The gaming news back then. He made a lot of interesting points, but I did say, and this is quote unquote on me, I see your point, but you're not taking into account the fact that both consoles still need to reveal personally what they can do. At launch, that's exactly near what people said about the Xbox 360, and look how that turned out. I agree that by specs, the PS5 is outmatched, but a console is only as good as the games, the experience, and the overall feel for the console. And that's what is being shown right now. Angry Chainsaw, if you're watching, I hope that you're listening to my man. If you go by Angry Chainsaw, then by all means, this is directed at you. This is exactly what I meant when I said that everything can be said and done. It could be all be printed on paper, but until it shows what it actually can do, it is nothing. Everyone said how great the Xbox 360 was gonna be. Then. The PlayStation that year. And guess what happened? It destroyed itself. Literally, it destroyed itself. Because a lot of its consoles destroyed themselves with the red ring of death. But the consoles need to play as good as they say they're gonna play. I don't take nothing into account until I'm shown exactly what happens with games when you play it. I want the best experience. I don't care about how much RAM it can do. Back then, back when the old days of gaming, it was about the adventure. It was about the story. It was about the games. It wasn't about how much the console can do. I want to see how the games run, and I'm an old school gamer. I want to see the games. I don't care how much the console can do. I just want to see how they run. That's how I see it. The consoles don't matter until they show what they can do running the games that they so rightly are made for. PS5 has already shown us what it can do, and it looks immaculate. Then I'll start comparing when Xbox does the same thing. And then I could say for definite, this one. That's what I mean. So I do appreciate your what you said, and I do agree that Sony looks like it could be outmatched. But again, if the games don't run as good on it, then what's the point of calling it a game console? There we go. Anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you guys so much for listening. I know there was a lot this week, but just how much news came out over the week was stress-inducing. And I'm also trying to phone it in a little bit until my birthday, so yikes. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I do hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for choosing the gaming news. I have been your host, Damian-D.Dragon, and hope see you guys next time. If you guys want to see anything more from our lovely, lovely creators, go down in the description below. There's all of our wonderful channels, so I suggest you go checking them out. I would say go check out Yumi Shortuga's Astro Chain series, and go look up some of Chaos's Shiny Hunting, which are two of my favorite ones to go check out. So go see what they have in store over there for you guys. If you guys want to see some more stuff from me, my personal stuff is in the description below, where I'm playing Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy, and The Escapist on Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and on Sundays I'm playing Overwatch, well for now, and I'm going to be playing Let It Die next Sunday. And on Wednesdays and Fridays, I've been playing Pokemon Emerald, but I'm going to be, taking that out very soon in favor of another game. And lately I've been playing The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess on Fridays. So come and check it out. Believe me, it's a wonderful, wonderful time. Come in and have a little bit of fun with us. Also, you guys want to see more stuff from me on the IC, I'm playing Spider-Man PlayStation 4. Coming every Thursday, and see what I got in store for you guys, because it's a wonderful, wonderful game. Anyway, hope everyone enjoyed today. I hope everyone has had a wonderful day, and thank you so much for choosing Damian-D.Dragon Plays. But it's time to end off. Anyway, good gaming, happy hunting, and I'll see all you Dragon Links back inside the world of the gaming news. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time for some more Damian Dragon action. Peace. I'll see you guys next time for more gaming news. See you guys then. Peace.